Friends, today we are going to discuss about legal system, what are the major legal systems in the world, and how our Indian legal system is different from other legal system, and what are the features of our Indian legal system which we have common with other legal system. So without wasting time, let's begin. Friends, when we talk about the legal system, firstly we have to understand what we mean by this. As you all know, around the every country have a different type of constitution, a different type of system of governance. So a legal system comprises the collection of rules, norms, institution which a country has, and its main feature or purpose, you can say that the main purpose of a legal system is to secure all its citizens uh, dignified living, and to grant all its citizens some rights, and to give and to also lay some duties to citizens to follow or to do some duties. So legal system is a set of rules, norms, and institution which main purpose is to secure all its citizens a dignified living in a cultured society, good society, and a better living. And it prescribe rights, duties, and also give us ways by which we can enforce it. When we talk about legal system, there are different type of legal system. Every country have something different from other. So there are a lot of legal systems in the world, but due to commonality in their features, we categorize these all legal systems generally into four types of legal system families, or say four types of legal systems. The first type of legal system we are going to talk about is the Romano-Germanic legal system, which is also known as a civil law system. Friends, civil law system is a legal system which are very common in countries of Europe, and also those countries which are former colonies of European countries. It is originated in Europe, and with the joint effort of universities of Europe, and with the help of Emperor Justinian. When we talk about civil law system, the main features of civil law system which we see in every country which have this is, first, civil law system emphasizes on codification of laws. Civil law system have a great emphasis on codification of laws. Written constitution, which we saw in also in India, written constitution is a feature of civil law system. Civil law system also give a great importance to the customs and the age-old tradition. It talks about codification of those customs also. Civil law system also give great emphasis on uh, developing individual relationships and individual autonomy. This is also a major feature of civil law system, that they give more importance to the individual autonomy and rights than the rights of a collective, which we later see in socialist legal systems. So civil law systems also give a great emphasis on the idea of just civil, means citizens law. Citizens law, by means to say, it means that every citizen should be governed by the law which is applicable on it, and not be governed with any other law. A major feature of civil law system also include the idea of justice and morality. We earlier talk about that civil law system give more emphasis on codification of laws, but it also gives emphasis on the idea of justice and morality. So in all situations, the interpretation of the law should be done by keeping in mind the idea of justice and morality. Friends, let's go to the another type of legal system which is very common worldwide, which is known as common law system or English common law system. English common law system, as the name suggests, it originated in England, and it is very common feature which is found in the colonies which are former colonies of England, which are former colonies of England also possess the features of common law system. India also have some features which are very much influenced by the common law system. So let's talk about common law system. Friends, common law system comprises of the major features of common law system. Let's say the major feature of common law system is that first, it don't emphasize on written constitution, which we see in England also. Second, common law system is derived or it's originated from a for a very long process. So it gave more emphasis on precedents, which we see in England and also in India. Judicial precedents are given greater importance and has a force like a law. So the first feature of common law system is it gives great emphasis on judicial precedent. Friends, another feature of a common law system which we saw in many countries which have this system is that they have an independent judiciary, which is also in India we see independent of judiciary or giving a great jurisdiction to judiciary makes the legal system strong enough or stronger. Let's talk about third feature. The third feature of common law system is that it emphasizes on the idea of justice, equity, and good consciousness, which we also see in India. That common law system depends on these ideas for interpretation of statutes and for ensuring complete justice. Another feature of common law system is that it also gives great emphasis on the individual right and individual autonomy, which we also see in the civil law system. It talks about ensuring all its citizens equality and liberty. Another feature of common law system which you see in majority of common law countries are that they have a clear cut separation of power or division of duties and roles, which we see in England in the form of monarch, House of Lords, and House of Common. Same we see in India also separation of power in the forms of legislature, executive, and judiciary. So separation of power is also a major feature of common law system. Friends, let's go to our other another legal system, which is commonly known as the socialist family of legal system or socialist legal system. Socialist legal system, as the name suggests, it is prevalent in the countries which have a socialist government. It is originated from the former USSR, which is now Russia, Union of Soviet Socialist Republic. As the name suggests, it talks about a welfare state. It gives more emphasis on collective rights than personal rights or individual autonomy. It talks about the ownership of all means of production, resources, collectively or by the government on the behalf of people. It's don't promote the liberty of people as much as we see in England or in common law system and civil law system. It give more emphasis on the duties of the people, which we also see that India also adopted the duties from the Russian constitution. So it give more importance on the collective ownership. Uh, it also ensure all its citizen equality and free legal aid, which is also a characteristic which we acquired from the Russian or Soviet legal system. So this legal system is also have a great feature that it talks about the centralization of power. In this legal system, the power is not divided or the division of power or separation of power not exist. All power is concentrated uh, in a Soviet, or which can say it depend on the countries like a parliament or anything, but power is centralized in this system. So these are the main feature of socialist legal system. Let's go to our last, or you can say that this legal system are common in the countries which are eastern countries, which are far eastern countries like China, South Korea, Japan, etc. These legal systems are more of a type of a legal system which exist in these countries, and the major focus of these legal systems are resolution of dispute by the help of mediation without use of any arbitrary power. Friends, let's talk about our own legal system, Indian legal system. Friends, when we talk about Indian legal system is an amalgamation of different features of other or different legal system. But majority of our legal system is influenced by the common law system, which we see in England. Because India is a former British colony, so we have very common features which we have adopted from the common legal system. Some features which we have common in which we have common with the common law system are, just like common law system, we also have a clear cut separation of power, which we see in our country as a division of power between legislature, judiciary, and executive. We also have a division of power in different layers of government, like we see in seven schedule, union list, concurrent list, and state list. Like a common law system in Britain, we also have a system of adversarial justice system. Friends, adversarial justice system means the justice system in which lawyers represent the client and everyone has a chance to be heard. Uh, Maybe somebody has performed a very heinous crime, but he has a right to be heard, he has a right to justice. In adversarial system, justice is both for victim and also for the accused. So we have a common feature that we both share, adversarial system of justice. Another feature which we have common is that just like British, we also give great emphasis on the precedents. We see in India also that the precedents by Supreme Court or judgment of Supreme Court also carry a force of law in our country. Friends, common law system has a concept which we have discussed earlier, that justice, equity, and good consciousness. This same concept is also applied in India in interpretation of statutes and the provisions of our Indian constitution. Whenever any conflict arises in interpretation, the interpretation which is in favor of justice, equity, and good consciousness is always preferred in our India. Friends, these are the things which we have common which we have common or which we share from the common law system. Now let's talk about the feature which we have adopted from the civil law system. Friends, like civil law system, majority of Indian laws are codified in nature, like our written constitution, and also we have many other laws which are codified, like our criminal law, which is now Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita (BNS), and there is CRPC, which is now BNSS, like Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita, and now BSA, Bharatiya Sakshya Adhiniyam. These all are the codified laws. So codification of law is a thing which we share from the civil law system. We have also the concept of justice and morality, which we use in interpretation of statutes and provisions, which we share from the civil law system. There are some other features which we share from the other systems, like socialist law system. Like in socialist law system, which give more importance on collective right, India also give importance to the collective right or social right, which we see in DPSP and the fundamental duties. Uh, some features which we adopted from socialist legal system is also the idea of legal aid, providing free legal aid, and the concept of welfare state. India also have a, you all know, socialist as a word in our preamble, which declare India as a Soviet, socialist, secular, democratic republic. So India have some feature of socialist legal system, which we share, like legal aid, welfare state, collective rights like DPSP, social responsibility of state, etc. Now, India also have some feature which are unique to India, or which we share from some religious legal systems. Like India also have a system of which India don't have a uniform civil code, as you all know. So India have different types of laws for different people belonging to different religions. Like for Hindus, there is a Hindu Marriage Act. For Muslims, there are different laws, Shariat law, which are followed in India for Muslim marriages, divorce, etc. There are Christian Marriages Act also in India. There are Parsi Marriages Act. These all the acts which I mentioned are the religious legal system which India also follow. In India, the civil law or the law governing marriages, divorce, marriage, divorce, and family matters like inheritance are different, which we adopted from the religious law system. So these are the main features of Indian legal system. As I have mentioned, that Indian legal system is an amalgamation of different types of legal system. So we share very much similarity with different legal system, but major part of our Indian legal system is have common or is we share with the common law system or the English common law system.